Thank you for tuning in to Mona Lisa Late Night. Grab your glass and let's get started. But before we get there, please go to my website, www.monalisamonroe.com. We've got merchandise, we've got t-shirts, we've got cups, we've got totes, we've got everything you need. We've even got my book, Life After the Diagnosis. So, let's go ahead, grab your glass, bottoms up, let's start talking.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to Evenings with Mona Lisa. We have a treat for you guys tonight. I have been waiting on this guest, and I'm telling you, a storm came in. She was supposed to be on my show this morning, but that's okay because we got her tonight. I can't wait to introduce her. So, first of all, I want you guys to go to my website, www.monalisamonroe.com. Purchase the website, support the show, purchase the merchandise on the website to support the show. Now, today is March 31st. It is the last day of March. All month long, we celebrated authors and publishers. And this guest right here, it's beautiful that she is closing out the show. So let me bring her on because I am giddy right now. I can't wait, can't wait. So let me just hush and bring her on. Boo! How are you, Gentifer?
I'm doing great. How are you, Mona?
I am doing so good. I'm so glad you're here with us today. I absolutely am just ecstatic.
Well, it's good to
So
be here. Thank you.
good. So before we go into the questions from the audience and all that good stuff, please introduce yourself to everyone.
Well, my name is Jennifer Ayers Moore. I'm the founder and president of Friends of Ayers Foundation Incorporated, where we concentrate on mental health and trying to bring mental health awareness to the public. And we are fighting to eradicate the stigma behind mental health.
Yes, totally. And I just adore you first of all, and then the cause is so needed right now. It is and this is the time to where it's okay to mention the word mental health. Would you agree?
Yeah, I totally agree. It's always been a good time, but people are just more open to it now.
Yeah, that's, you know what, that's a better phrase. Everyone's more open to it. And especially now, the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
And I think, and this is just my personal view, I think that this is the seeds of everyone being locked up in 2020.
Yeah.
And now you're seeing people act out and doing the most right now.
Yeah. Well, it definitely has had an effect. Um, Mental health has been more open because of the pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah. So specifically, what is your book targeting? Is it a specific disorder, or is it just in general mental
Well,
health?
it's in general, and the reason I wrote the book is because I have a brother who has a mental health condition. His name is Nathaniel Ayers, and about 10 years ago, a movie came out about him and his relationship with a reporter by the name of Steve Lopez. The book was entitled The Soloist, as well as the film The Soloist, starring Jamie Foxx and Robert Downey Jr., it was a very good movie, and it opened up a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
And because of the film, it gave me the opportunity to speak in many places to different organizations or at different events. And I noticed that while I was speaking, I was sharing my family's story, but I noticed that a lot of people would come up to me afterwards and ask questions. And there was a lot of well, not enough information about what families go through because
Wow.
of the mental health of a loved one. So I started speaking more about that, and I had so many people come up to me and say, "Oh, you should write a book. You should write a book." And little did they know that I've kept notes all along. You know, I used to
Wow.
write poetry on the bus on my way home from work,
Wow.
just to kind of keep my mind in order. You know,
Wow.
to kind of get out what I was feeling about the things that my brother was going through. And back when he first had his first nervous breakdown, it was difficult because we didn't know a lot about it.
How old was he?
Well, he was in his 20s because he was
Mm-hmm.
attending Juilliard in New York.
Mm-hmm.
He was
Mm-hmm.
a classical double bassist there.
Yes. It just, I mean, just the movie was just amazing. And Jamie Foxx was perfect. I mean, he's just an amazing actor. And how you guys grabbed him, I don't know, but did
Well,
he
you know,
all
what's so funny about that is that Jamie Foxx actually flew himself to London to speak with the director
wow.
because he wanted to play that role.
Really?
He did. I mean, they gave it to a couple of people to read, and Jamie got on a plane, flew to London to speak with the director, Joe Wright,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "Wow, you know, he really wanted to do it, and he ended up
Wow.
playing the part, and I couldn't think of anybody better, you know,
Me
just
either. Me
he did a
either.
great job, and you know, I was really happy with how he depicted my brother. There's some things that maybe I wouldn't have done if I was the director or the producer.
Yeah, yeah.
It was Hollywood, so you know they had to put their stuff in there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just you and your brother, or there other
Oh no, no,
siblings?
no, no. I have a older sister and I have
Hmm.
a younger sister, so it's four of us.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. But my brother and I maintained a very close relationship, and for I don't know why that is, but that's the way that it is. You know, we still stay in touch, and I've kept my phone number for many years just in case.
Yeah,
And
that's awesome. That's
that's
awesome.
that's really how we got reconnected was because I still had the same phone number.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know the question on the table was, why did you write a book? You basically answered that one.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I wrote a book because, like I said, you know, when I go out and speak, many people ask me, why don't you write your own book? Because of the
Mhm.
fact that the movie depicted a great relationship between Steve Lopez and my
Mhm.
brother, but it
Yeah.
didn't talk about what our family went through trying to
Right.
learn how to deal with the my brother's health condition.
Right, right. So, how do you think your book will make a change? I mean, when you were writing it, I'm sure you were,
Yeah.
writing it for people to help them.
Hmm.
Has anyone, came to you after the fact and was like, because of your book,
Yeah, I actually I have had that type of reaction, and the reviews have been very good. I mean, it's right now only on Amazon, but it has
Hmm.
been doing really well. And I've had a lot of people write to me and say that, you know, I appreciate you sharing your story. This gives me a better understanding of how my sibling may feel or how my
Right.
daughter may feel.
Mm,
When the focus is on the person that has the mental health condition, you know, you don't really have time. And it's not that you don't want to, you just kind of forget about everybody else. As a
wow.
young teenager growing up seeing that, you know, I wanted to help, but I didn't know how to approach it. So
Wow.
I open up about telling people to, you know, notice, you know,
Wow.
the other people in the family. And
Wow.
there is help for family members to
Hmm.
understand
Hmm.
what their loved one may be going through.
I just love that, because a lot of times, good evening, Vince. Good evening. A lot of times people do leave out the siblings, and how they have to go through things, and
Mhm.
and even later in life, sometimes they're affected in different ways as well, you know.
Sometimes, stress is serious.
Mm-hmm.
Stress and a misunderstanding, um, getting depressed.
Yes.
I'm just fortunate that, I was able to kind of really wake up and realize that, I have to take care of me, in order to be available to take care of or help my brother.
Yes. Yes. Totally. Well, you basically stated that you started writing in journals.
Yeah, I
The
did.
question was, how did you get started? And I
Yeah.
was telling, we were talking previously, and that's basically how a book gets started at times. Sometimes, you just start jotting things down, and then you look at it, and lo and behold, you start chronologically placing that thing in order, and
Yeah.
voila, you have a book. How old were you when you started or you made the decision to start writing everything down?
Well, I was a young person. Let's just say that.
A young fur.
I
Okay, I'll take
was in college.
it.
I've always had a knack for writing poetry,
Wow.
and I would write short stories while
Hmm.
in high school and college. And when I left college and graduated and came back to Cleveland, I would catch the bus to and from work. So in
Hmm.
order to make that bus ride a little more comfortable, I had my little pad and I would write.
Hmm. Hmm. And for me, I'll tell anybody, don't hold it in, start putting it on paper. And then later on, it's so funny because let me tell you what I noticed. When I was journaling, I noticed that it depended on my emotion or my mood at the time. My handwriting was different. Did you
Yeah.
notice that?
Well, yeah, I guess I would, because, if you're on the bus and you're trying to write something down before the next stop or
You
before
were
you have to move, you have so yeah, I noticed a lot. And then I started later typing things up, and
oh
just to date it,
yeah.
I was using a little electric typewriter. It wasn't a computer.
Honestly, I type better on with the high keys
Yeah.
versus the flat keys. That I don't know, but that might be my age showing up too. So it's all good.
Yeah.
What are some lessons learned in the journey of being an author of a book like you wrote?
Well, I tell you, this particular book was difficult for me because I write a lot of personal stuff,
Yeah.
and it's it's good to reach out to get some help. I mean, I had a good team with me
Mm-hmm.
that helped me with the editing, because I would write something down uh, that I may think of, and it would
Mm-hmm.
be out of order. So I had to have someone to help me to put this in chronicle order.
Oh
You know,
wow.
yeah, I really did. So
Wow.
yeah, so just to have a team to edit for you. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you're the writer, but it's always good to get someone to help you with the edits.
I totally agree. I totally agree because without the publisher that I had, I don't even think I would have finished it up and because he actually was able to not just place things in order, but say, you know what, if you used this word instead of that word, and I mean, it was just this guidance through the whole thing.
Hmm.
And you mentioned something that we talked about earlier. I was beating myself up because I stopped promoting the book because I got so emotional every time I would talk about it.
Hmm.
How did you get over that hump?
I don't know that I am.
Yeah, right?
So, like I said, it's pretty personal. I
Yeah.
talk about a lot of things, and I share a lot of information about what my family went through. Uh,
Hmm.
as we watched my brother go from a classical musician, which, well, first of all, we didn't know a lot about classical music.
Wow.
Being in the hood, we didn't know.
Right, right, right.
And I it was just different, but we learned to love it a lot. But we did actually see the change in my brother as he
Hmm.
came back from Juilliard.
That is just an incredible story. I mean, it's just incredible. And I had to pull it, I had to pull it down again. And I was like, man, Amazon, it's on Amazon, but you're gonna rent it. And I said, well, let's rent it again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh man,
And
it's
a lot of people are still. I don't think, honestly, I do not think that Hollywood understood what they were doing in terms of creating and producing that movie,
mm-hmm.
because it really resonated with a lot of people.
Yeah,
And I had no idea what was going to happen.
right,
And
right.
I've met so many people that I would literally consider friends because
Mm-hmm.
of that, calling me, texting me, trying to get in touch with me, just to
Wow.
tell me what it meant to them, and, what it still means to them.
I think they should just bring it back out. You know how they bring back movies at certain times.
Yeah.
I think they should bring that movie back because especially now, it's so many cases that they didn't know what it was, but now there's a word for it, whatever it is. You know what I mean? There is.
Well, there's several different forms or types of mental health conditions.
Mm-hmm,
Some more severe than others. Some there's
mm-hmm,
medication for it to allow you to control it. And
mm.
schizophrenia, which is the diagnosis that my brother has, just happens to be the most challenging.
Wow.
Yeah.
And does it just happen, or does something
Yeah,
trigger
pretty
it?
much. That's my experience. Uh,
Wow.
take it, have it, seeing my brother go off to school, who, by the way, he's a handsome guy,
Mm-hmm,
very dapper, loved to dress really nice. Then
mm-hmm.
going to pick him up from school one day, and he's coming out to the car in tattered clothes in a way that I've never seen him before. Tore,
Wow.
pants tore, sweater raggedy, didn't match. That wasn't him. That
Wow.
wasn't him. So that was the first time that I saw him in that condition.
Mm-hmm.
And it just got worse over time.
And a lot of times you don't even, and and I've spoken to people after they come out of whatever, and they had no idea that they were slipping into it or they were in it. Like, for instance, in a depression state, right? They just so happen, I don't feel like going anywhere, I don't feel like putting on any clothes, close the blinds, the sun is a little bit too bright,
Oh yeah.
and
No.
then next
Mhm.
thing you know, you don't want to eat,
Mhm.
or you're eating too much. And then all of that are signs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is. I mean, it could be a number of things, but that's
Yeah,
why you got to kind of be aware of what's available out there for you to find out what you're going through.
right,
And I
right.
always tell a person, if they don't know, always look up NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness, because there's one of those everywhere, and
Oh,
they could give you information about a therapist that's close to you. And that's the
wow.
thing. That's what I talk about in this book. Is you can't be afraid to know that there's something wrong. I mean, if you hear a voice, is that normal? No, it's not. You have to approach it right then and there. But that's not always easy because there's so much stigma around mental health that
Mm,
you sometimes you're afraid to go say, well, I hear a voice, I hear somebody talking to me, and that there's
mhm.
nobody in the room.
Wow,
I
wow,
spoke at a college once and mentioned that in the way that I just did. And a young
mhm.
guy walked up to me and thanked me for saying that.
Wow,
And from that point, he said that he was going to go talk to somebody because he was hearing voices.
wow. And let me see the cover of the book again so everyone can see. That is so amazing. And did you on the back, it's the it's about you, correct? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. And just the thought of you helping someone by just mentioning something like that, it's just amazing.
I tell you, I've been, several places to speak. Never expected that.
Wow.
Um, because that's not what I do. I didn't go out. And I never imagined I'd be speaking in front of, 3, 4, 5, 1,000 people uh,
Wow.
at an annual event. And it's by the grace of God, really, that I got through most of it because, my nerves would kind of get to me a little bit. But
Yeah.
I always enjoy doing it afterwards. And I
Mhm.
always have met somebody in each city that I'm still in touch with today. And that movie's been out over 10 years.
Yes, it has. And I mean, the only thing you can know that it's been out or it's an older movie is because of the wardrobe or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
other than that,
Well, then you look at my brother's wardrobe and that, that's he's still his old character. He's very artistic, I'll say that.
oh my goodness. But everything else is relevant. I'm not, it is what it is. What is next for you as an author is the next question.
Well, I'm actually working on another book, and it's sort of like a chicken soup type book, where I'm talking to a lot of people to get
Yeah,
their opinions or their feelings or their experiences about something. And
right.
um, we're as I mentioned, I have a foundation called the Friends of Heirs,
Mm-hmm.
and my goal is to make people more aware of the resources that are available. And we're
Mm-hmm.
doing a little campaign called Socks On.
Socks
Uh,
on.
Socks On. And the reason I call it that is because, I was talking to my brother one time and just happened to look down at his feet, and he walks everywhere. I mean, he walks miles.
What?
Yeah. He doesn't do it now, but, when he was younger, he would. And
Wow.
his feet were in bad shape. And a lot of
Oh.
times it would be because he's walking with no socks on.
Oh.
So,
Wow. Wow.
I from that point till now, I always make sure that he has plenty of socks. And I
That
want to
sounds
do that.
good.
Yeah, and I want to do that for other people that are experiencing a mental health condition. So
Mm,
what I'm doing is sending socks to an agency that does care for people with a mental health condition,
mm-hmm.
and it may not be enough for everybody that they provide services for,
Mm-hmm.
but what it does is to say that, hey, well, Friends of Heirs donated 150 pairs of socks. We need more. So I
Wow.
asked them to get onto their social media and say, hey, Friends of Heirs donated 150 pairs of socks. That's not enough. We service 1,000 people. And then
Mm,
that brings attention to the fact that that agency is there in their community trying to help the community members that are experiencing mental health condition. So it's
wow.
just like something to ignite the interest in the community for the people that are being serviced there.
Wow. And you know what? I have to admit, I don't even know if there's a facility here where I am. So I'm definitely going to investigate and try to find that out
Yeah,
because,
yeah,
everyone needs to know at least where it is. And maybe a person, you just
yeah.
never know. Or
For
it could be
sure,
you.
for sure, yeah, for sure. I mean, you could always, of course, Google it, but you want to donate to an agency that's doing the right thing. I hate to say it
Right.
this way,
That's true.
but
That is true because
all
it's
we
a
ask
lot
is
of
they take,
agencies.
yeah, all
Yeah.
we ask is that they take pictures of the socks when they get them, and a picture of the book because this is how we're able to buy the socks. All the
Got it.
proceeds from the book go toward buying socks.
You know what? I'm glad that you said that because this show, I'm going to post it on every page so everyone can chime in and try to do that because it's a great cause. It's a great cause. And you would be surprised how many people are going to reach out and do just that. And
Yeah.
I'm so overjoyed on the show in April. April, we're going to really zoom in on the mental health, and we're going to have some, experts and everything like that in April. And of course, if you're available, we're going to have some panels and things like that on the show in April. And
Hmm.
I just really think right now, what's going on in the world, I think we really need to be aware that this is actually happening, and
Hmm.
people are walking around going, what's wrong with so and so? It
Yeah.
could be, it's something. People don't react in crazy ways for no reason at all. It's something happening.
Well, yeah. Crazy ways. I don't know if that's the proper political term for it.
I mean, I'm sorry. Different, interesting. I don't know. Oh, that was politically incorrect. I do apologize. Oh Lord. What do I call that? What do I say? I
Well,
want to be I want to be correct. Ooh, that was horrible.
well, it just depends on what you're referring to. You know, you
Um Disorder, just acting outside of character. You know what I mean? It's
good,
just
good phrase right there. What you just said,
okay. Okay.
acting outside of character.
Okay. Lord
You know,
forgive me.
but you'll get
Woo.
caught up. You'll get caught up with someone when you'll say acting outside of character. Well, what do you mean outside of character? I'm telling you, that's how it is. But as long as you care and you're trying to do something to help, you can get by that. You know what I mean? Uh-oh, did we? I think I lost the connection here.
Are you
Uh-oh.
still I'm
I
sorry, am I
hear you.
freezing?
Oh, yeah, there you froze up. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. The weather is bad, so
Oh,
I
wow.
am. Yeah, I'm so sorry. That's the reason why we didn't have you this morning. This weather is horrible. But thank you again for coming on the show. We'll have you back in April. Hopefully, I
Yeah.
will. I will
You
text
have
you and let you know.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay. Before I let you go, can you let everyone know how to find you?
Sure, you can go to www.friendsofheirs.org.
Mhm.
That's the first place. The email address is on there, and the website right now is being updated
Okay.
because I've changed the name of the foundation. Went through a little something myself when my husband passed, so I wasn't doing anything, and
Mhm.
now I'm back, ready to go, and ready to continue to advocate.
Wonderful. Thank you again. And we're going to post this on every page and we're going to
You.
try our best to get you as many socks as possible. Hear the music. Thank you again. And you have a great, safe
It's just
night.
a metaphor for something a whole lot deeper.
I can't wait. And it's on Amazon Prime, correct?
It is the movie is on Amazon.
But your book is
On Amazon.
on Amazon. Okay, got it. Got it. Thank you again, Jennifer. You take care,
Thank
okay?
you, Mona Lisa. I appreciate you.
All righty. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
What an amazing guest, guys. Oh my goodness. Please go to the website, Friends of Heirs, and socks. Oh my goodness. If you know of anyone, if you can donate socks, please do. Go to the website and take a picture. Go on Amazon, purchase the book, all the above. Jennifer is amazing. And if you guys remember that movie with Jamie Foxx, that movie was awesome. It's on Amazon. You might have to rent it, but it's worth every dime. I'm telling you. So please go on Amazon. The movie is called The Soloist. Jamie Foxx and Robert Downey Jr. worked that movie for sure. Great, great interview. Thank you, Jennifer, again for coming on the show tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in to the show tonight. Now, we're going to have a special show, late night with Mona Lisa, and we have our special guest, Gary, coming on tonight. And we're going to, of course, address the how can I put it? The red hot topic of the week, not the day, not the hour, but the week. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. Yep, you guessed it. Will and Chris. So come on back. As Wendy used to say, get the snack and come on back. But please tune in to us tonight, late night, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. You guys take care. You hear? Bye-bye.